G'day everyone, I'm the Gravetender, and welcome to the other side. Have you ever wanted to go to a beachside town and just paint whatever you want? Walk up to some random brick-covered building and give it some color? Ever wish it was legal for people to create art wherever they wanted without fear of being judged or sued for it? Well, have no fear, because Concrete Genie is here to fulfill that wish. Taking on the role of Ash, a young gifted artist, the player is brought into his own imaginative world, one full of color and intricately designed art. However, after ending up at the town lighthouse and discovering one of his own paintings has come to life, Ash's mission is made clear to him. The town of Denska is falling into darkness, while a gang of bullies roam the streets, seeking to spread this darkness wherever they wish. So, the player is tasked with using their newly found magical painting skills to bring color back to the town of Denska and to stop the corruption that has consumed this once vibrant land, all the while trying to navigate the many dangers throughout town and collect the many sketch designs that have been scattered throughout the game world. This is done by utilizing some very basic stealth and climbing mechanics in order to solve puzzles and open up more of the game world. While at times it might look it, don't go into this expecting a child's friendly rendition of an Uncharted game. On paper, it sounds just like any other simple puzzle platformer. However, the true complexity of Concrete Genie is in its art, quite literally. The whole game world serves as your canvas, and you are capable of painting anywhere you wish with any of the designs you found throughout the game world, giving you the means to transform some of the blandest looking buildings in a video game into a symphony of color. It would be an understatement to say that this game is pretty. Despite how simple the humans' character designs are, this is still one of the most visually breathtaking games on the PlayStation. By using a blend of 2D and 3D animation styles, Concrete Genie is able to project an array of color onto its game world without being forced to create any complex graphical systems to stop it from becoming undone. This is thanks in no small part to the game's initial lack of color. Once you begin using the painting tools, the whole world quickly becomes illuminated in a vast array of different hues and shades, all complemented by the still images moving as if present in reality. I won't deny it, once you get started, you may find it hard to stop painting. You feel naturally encouraged to paint whatever you want and wherever you wish without ever being told to do so. But it should be said you're not just painting for yourself. In fact, most of the work you do will be to create a particular image to advance or to appease Ash's many genies.
Hey! Are you trying to drop me in the drink?
Speaking of which, many of the obstacles in the game world can only be removed by first creating and then directing a genie. These elementally charged painted creatures follow you throughout the game world, directing you towards the next area and providing you super paint to clear away corruption. They can also interact with the world around them, whether it be to solve a puzzle or to just have a bit of fun. It allows the players to look at the genie as characters rather than just as one-dimensional creatures of the painted world. Without a doubt, they are a necessary tool to advance through the game world and solve puzzles, so it's always a good idea to paint something for them or find some of the lost pages throughout the world so you can give each one of them their own distinct look. These factors all coincide with the gameplay loop that can be broken down to eliminate the once dark streets of Denska until you're able to create your masterpiece, which is a grand painting that incorporates all the designs that can be found in your present area. Once this has been created, you unlock a new element for your genies and proceed to the next area. Step by step, you're bringing color back to this town, all the while learning more about the bullies who pursue you and piecing together the mysteries of this town. In short, Concrete Genie is a creativity tool that just so happens to contain a simple yet relatable story that both children and adults would be able to understand. You may go into this expecting a more complex narrative, but in reality, this game's narrative is more akin to what you'd find in a typical Pixar movie, which isn't a bad thing. The characters are charming enough to hold the story together, and the voice acting can be quite exceptional, especially in the late game. Still, it's clear right from the start that this game's primary focus isn't its story or even the platforming, but the painting. However, it should be said that if you're not used to motion controls, then you're going to hate this game. Using the PlayStation controller to direct your paintbrush can be quite difficult at first, but due to the simplicity of the mechanics and the lack of any complex instructions given to you throughout the game, it doesn't become a burden on the experience. In fact, it actually becomes quite relaxing. Of course, once you reach the final chapter of the game, the painting takes a backseat to some simple but quite intricate combat. As the corruption worsens in Denska, Ash is forced to turn his brush away from creating art and towards containing it. Also, he can mend the damage done to the town and free those who had once brought him harm throughout the story. With the 3 elements you've acquired throughout the game, Ash is able to expertly tackle these newly created foes, using fire to inflict damage, lightning to stun, and wind to bring those who can fly back to the ground, all the while being able to surf along the ground at breakneck speeds. Simply put, the late game of Concrete Genie truly felt like the final chapter in a grand quest, and once it's all over, you'll be rewarded by being able to easily move throughout the game world by paint surfing. Aside from the main story, there's also a number of secrets throughout the game world to be found, and a free paint mode which allows you to cover dense current color without fear of being attacked by anything. There is also VR support, but since I don't have a headset or any kind of VR tech, I can't offer my own thoughts on how good it is to use, but from what I've heard, it seems to be as enjoyable as the main game. You know, for a game that can be finished in less than a few hours, Concrete Genie manages to provide players with enough content to entertain both the young and the old. Even without the story mode, the free roaming paint mode can keep you entertained for hours on end. Plus, I won't deny that spending some time bringing some much needed colour to this dark and dilapidated town was very satisfying. So in an industry filled to the brim of chaotic action and massive open worlds, it's nice to simply take some time and paint to your heart's content. Anyway, that's all the time we have for today. I'm the Grave Tender, and thank you for joining me on the other side. I hope you all have a nice day.